Alright, the Reds, it's talking Reds, Gareth Roberts, Lizzi Doyle, and what a night we had last night watching the mighty Reds. Mad the way the League Cup became the World Cup by the end, didn't it? I mean, it was a mad one. I thought it was like, you know, everyone went, or a lot of people went, I thought, kind of a little bit out of duty. Do you know what I mean? A little bit like, it's Wednesday night, it's only the League Cup, and he's going to play the kids. And then it just turned out to be just an absolute crazy cracker of a night. And I think the best thing for me that's come out of it is that we support a team, and you can get obsessed by supporting the team, as in the first team. But I think yesterday was a reminder that we're also supporting a club. And it was boss to see how much that club is together. So from, you know, Firmino putting the thing on Instagram where he's like, go ahead, Curtis, when he's taking a penalty, which is absolutely brilliant, to the celebrations with Curtis when he scores that pen, to the way they're all around the keeper, the way they're all around Neco Williams, you know what I mean? Just everything about it. And even the way Klopp spoke in the press conference, every bit of it was brilliant. And if you weren't warmed by that, and if you didn't feel a little bit football romantic about it, then you may as well fuck it off.
Yeah, it was a joy. It was lovely. I had a lovely time. Like, I really enjoyed myself. And I'm a bit guilty because I was one of those people thinking, God, it's absolutely freezing. And for anyone who's not from Liverpool, it was Mizzy night, and I don't know if you know what Mizzy night was, but to walk through Anfield at Mizzy night is a big, big task, and I had to walk through a firm of 20 lads with like the hoods up, and I was thinking, this is not going to be worth it, eggs all over the floor. And I was just thinking, I could do without this, it's so cold. Got in, and I thought, you know what, I'll just get up for it, it'll be nice to see the kids play, and then what a game. Like, I'm not even bothered, like, the fact that we played quite badly in spells.
First half.
Like, I would rather have that game all day, any day, than our first 11 batter them 6-0. It's much more enjoyable. And to be honest, when it got to 3-1, I was a little bit resigned. I thought, we're having a bit of a taste of our medicine here, because there's a couple of decent players, didn't he, in the starting 11. I mean, you're looking at, like, say what you want about Mesut Ozil, but he's Mesut Ozil, isn't he? And
it's on about 300 grand.
I thought this is going to be it now, but no, it was great. And to be honest, at 5-4, I thought it was done. And it was weird because was Origi popping up and doing what Origi does?
He didn't know what score it was. He definitely didn't know what score it was.
I think he definitely did. He goes, I'm not going to do anything until it's give me 93 minutes, give me...
You know the way his celebrations are like really low key, like, I may as well mention it now. We've done an interview with Milner and it's out there, watch it, it's on video, it'll be audio later in the week, stuff like that, get involved. But there's a bit in his book about Origi.
Is there?
Yeah, and he basically says like he's the most laid back fella in the world. And he said he's not like late for team meetings and things like that. He said, but he turns up like 30 seconds before without a care in the world. He said he always forgets like headphones, leaves stuff around. And he said he's just like, in Origi world, just like really chilled, really nice fella. And there's no way he kept up with the score. I think he just thought, he's just coming in, we're getting beat about 7-0, aren't we? I'll just
It's not a ball, I'll get my head on it. Do you know what? He took it well, didn't he?
Yeah.
And even his other goal,
the one as well, the turn.
All the goals were dead good last night. I was even thinking, what was the better goal? Because Oxlade-Chamberlain, you know, he wins the ball back on the half volley. But then that Joe Willock, split through the defence. I mean, that was great as well. And it was only really when Divock scored that I felt what you just said there about supporting a club, because I thought, of course that was going to happen. It doesn't matter that it's not the same 11. We're doing the same thing. Like, the lads didn't stop. And you know what? I thought that Williams done brilliant for the last goal. He really did, because when he took it to the line, I thought it was going to go out. It looked like it was about to go out, and I was thinking,
He struggled early on, I thought, as well.
He did, but I thought he'd done well.
He did, yeah. Loads of people were talking really positively about him today, and rightly so. And he was another one you could tell he was absolutely made up. Great that he put that ball in for Origi, and lots of them.
Everyone celebrated with him for the goal. Origi just went.
And Origi wasn't asked. As I said, he's just in Origi well going, I always score them, lad. But no, Neco Williams, I thought, you know, it was his debut, wasn't it, alongside a few of the others, and I thought at first he was toiling a little bit. He just looked like he was sort of on, you know, in the red zone, if you like, for the whole of the match, and rightly so. The levels that you suddenly play in at. But, you know, to keep going, to keep trying, even, you know, he swapped sides briefly as well, which I thought was telling in that they thought he was getting roasted a little bit. But then, yeah, to keep going and to put that ball in, what a fella. And that was what I was worried about. When it was 3-1, even when it was 4-2, I was a little bit like, there's a group of lads here all making their debut in front of a big crowd at Anfield. You don't want them going away remembering and like that they got absolutely tonked. Even Kelleher, you know, he concedes 5 goals. If you're being harsh, you could probably say he could do a little bit better on a couple of them. But then he's
the first 2, isn't it?
But then the pen, he saves one of the penalties and he's the hero. And that's brilliant, isn't it? He gets to go away and say, made me debut at Anfield and I saved one of the pens and we won. And Curtis Jones, what a guy.
Oh, I love Curtis Jones. And do you know what? I think I've been a little bit critical of Curtis Jones, and it's more of a naivety. It just feels like he's one of those names that's always popped up but has never really done anything. But like, so when he played against MK Dons, I was like, God, Curtis Jones is in the team. He just always seems to be there. But, you know, he played well, and it was quite harsh really to leave him out. I understand why he did it, but off the back of MK Dons, you'd argue that he should have started. And when he come on, he changed the game. Naby Keita has a stinker. Let's be honest about it. Naby Keita was crap. He didn't play well at all. He was the worst of the lot. He changed the game. And to see him in a different position as well, to come on into that midfield, which is a senior midfield, by the way. He's got Adam Lallana there, he's got Oxlade-Chamberlain, looked like the most assured out of all of them. And he looked dead controlled and dead calm. He knew what he was doing. He knew where he wanted to play the ball.
Brilliant.
Pen was excellent. What a lad. And like,
apparently
I'm made up for
he's had a word somewhere as well, hasn't he? Because Klopp said that he wasn't meant to be on the 5th pen, and Origi was. But he's somehow diddled it so that he was on the 5th one, so he got to be the hero.
Good lad.
But what I liked about
like.
Klopp's press conference, he went like, you know, of course it's a Scouser. And he was like, you know, let me tell you, Curtis Jones is not short of confidence. I was like, get in, that is proper Scouse. He lives it, well, he's grown up in town as well. He's like, you know, the most Scouse you can be. Anyway, here is us reacting to that crazy match last night. On the post-match pint, I had Kev Walsh and I have Damien Cavanagh with us, and it was mad, but it was boss. Here's a clip.
If you look at it, it's all like going to Milton Keynes and it's all like playing against them.
Yeah.
Then you're talking about Arsenal, even at the fringe players, the players with experience in the Premier League and in the Europa League.
Players on the pitch there.
Indeed, he did. So then you're looking at the goalie, the right back, the big ginger centre back, right? And you combine the 3 of them, and they're all added together, younger than me. Right, and you know, think about it. You know what I mean? The age of them against players. But
I was going to bring this up.
That's a big thing, isn't it? You know, with the physicality, with the experience. You know, maybe if the goalie's in there and the right back's in there, then you need another more experienced centre half. Maybe it's just one more thing. So I think that makes it look a bit. But with regard to the goalie, I think he's got a lot of natural ingredients there. I think his reflexes are good, his confidence is good, he's good with his feet.
His touch on the ball is
and his reflexes are good. He saves it, but he doesn't push it further enough away. But again, if you look at him, he's a boy.
He's got that little confidence as well to like take that extra touch. Where you as a fan are going, but he gets it right.
If it was me, like,
he does get it right.
He would have fell down. Do you know what I mean?
Who brought him into it?
But he But look, I think
between him and Ben John, who hates him the most.
And Muriel, let's put him in there. No, but I think on Keller, it's a bit harsh on him. The 2 goals he's pushed out, the first one, it's offside anyway.
Yeah, it is offside, yeah.
But big, it's like,
no VAR in the League Cup.
It's taking a shot from 6 yards and he's making a save.
Correct.
No, it wasn't necessarily going in the fucking goal, so maybe work on that. But he pushed it out, not a great save. The second one, it's a similar thing. It's a shot from as close as we are here, and he's just getting down to make the save to stop it going in. It's not necessarily his fault that he can't fucking put it into the main stand.
I agree 100%. There's a goalie in there, there's a career in there, wherever it lands. But I'm telling you, that lad's got all the ingredients. There's no maybe about it.
Nice one, that was the post-match pint there. If you want to have a go of those shows, download the Anfield app, you get some free tokens and you can have a go for nothing. And some of the premium content, podcast or video, take your pick, have a go at what you want. You might want to have a go at the Milner stuff, you might want to have a go at the post-match pint, whatever you fancy. And then if you like it, subscribe. And if you don't watch the free stuff. We got Aston Villa in the quarter-finals of the League Cup. No one knows how the fuck this is going to work because we've got about 1 million games to play because of the Club World Cup semi, etc. We've also got to fit in the FA Cup at the start of January. We've got to reschedule a West Ham game, which was scheduled for when we were playing the Club World Cup. I mean, it kind of feels like when we go to Villa on Saturday, maybe we just have a penalty shootout.
Just decide
who goes through. Honestly, it's mad, and like Klopp was like, you know, didn't hold back on it and was basically saying, look, it's not my fault. It's your fault. And he's like, I kind of feel like people from the Premier League, etc., were watching the telly tonight, hoping Arsenal went through because they don't know how to solve it. Last time in a similar situation, obviously, Man United pulled out of the FA Cup. You wouldn't really want Liverpool to be doing that. But honestly, what is the answer?
I don't know, they've accepted the Club World Cup. To me, I think the League Cup is worth more than the Club World Cup, personally, to me as a fan, because it means that we get a lovely day out to Wembley. We get one of the silverware that, if really at the end of the year, if you're talking about a quadruple, it's a Premier League, it's a Champions League, it's a League Cup, it's an FA Cup.
I quite like World Club Champions.
But we've never won it, have we? And that's what I'm thinking. But the thing is, like, you have those four, and then you have the Super Cup, then you have the Charity Shield, and then you have the Club World Cup. And for me, the League Cup as a domestic trophy is worth more to me than the Club World Cup. The Club World Cup just feels like something we're being obliged into. You get loads of money for it, and especially where it's held in Qatar. But we're in it, and I'd like to think that Liverpool... I mean, it's hard work being European champions, Super European champions, and potentially world champions, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It's a tough life.
I was thinking today about the draw. I was doing a slot on Radio City Talk, and it was the draw live as we were on air, and I was saying the worst nightmare for us would be like Everton, United, Leicester or City, because Klopp would have his hand forced there with Everton or United. He couldn't field that side, no matter what anyone. He could not field that side. We'd all be livid if he fielded that side against Everton or Man United. I think he's breathing a sigh of relief that it's Villa, because he can play that side against Villa. If he's going to play that side against Arsenal, he can play them against Villa, but he couldn't have done it for Everton and United. And if they're going to squeeze it in that really heavy Christmas, January period, I don't know if... It wouldn't surprise me if they postpone a Premier League match and play it midweek the way that we're doing with West Ham and just put that back further on, you know, in the season. Depends how far we get in the Champions League.
The only other one, which they won't do, but it kind of feels like you could do, is Liverpool. You know, you've just said yourself, the team that Liverpool will put out in this competition will still be roughly the side that we saw last night, by 1 or 2. There's an argument, I'd say,
I know what you're gonna say.
A team goes and plays in Qatar and a team plays in against Aston Villa, but they won't allow that, because that would be literally devaluing the League Cup, saying that, you know, you are officially playing a second team, and they won't want that.
I also think, though, you always have to name like a 20-odd man squad or something like that. I don't know what you'd have to name for Qatar. So what he'd have to do is pick his first 11 with
Qatar or something mad there.
Qatar, you did, yeah. I was thinking I'd just gloss over that.
Thanks, mate.
Qatar.
Qatar, yeah. Like a guitar.
Yeah, like Qatar. Like, you know, when you throw it.
Like a...
There was plenty that at Anfield last night. It's vile. It's just like fellas doing it. But yeah, so I don't know how many he'd have to name. He'd literally, if that was to happen, which it'll never happen, he'd have to choose his first 11 and his 3 subs, and then pack the rest of them out with kids and go, well, I'm going to choose 16-year-olds to come over. They can just warm the bench. They can just take up a place. And then I'm going to put the first 11 that I know I'm going to start for Villa and another lot of kids. It's just not viable, and it's not going to happen, is it?
It's all over the shop.
But I think we should be grateful that it's Villa in terms of our first 11 will get another rest. And it sounds terrible to say that about the League Cup, that's the way I'm thinking. I want to progress. For these lads after last night, I want them to progress.
Yeah, it'd be great.
And it's great for them, actually, that we've got Villa, because, like I said, if it was Everton or United, you wouldn't have seen half of those lads. I think you might have seen maybe 1 or 2, but you wouldn't have seen all of them playing.
And I don't know if you're into conspiracy theories, some people are, some people aren't. Some people think, you know, Liverpool are lucky and always get penalties and things like that. I'd just say, take a look at the teams that Man City keep getting in draws. Just saying.
Do you know what, as well, on last night, and it was only until it got mentioned to me this morning, I'd kind of forgot about it. Wasn't it lovely to not have VAR?
Yeah, it was, you know,
I mean,
even though one of their goals was offside.
Yeah,
but it was sort of like, well, that happens.
But you know what? At no point, I think there was one little smidge where I think it wasn't a goal, but I thought it was, I think like Lallana looked offside, and I looked to the linesman, and he hadn't flagged, and I was thinking, oh, this will get pulled back, and then it sort of left me mind, and then it was only this morning I thought, God,
yeah,
like it wasn't there, and we managed to see like a boss entertaining game of football. Yeah, okay, so what? One of their goals should have been offside. Who cares? Look what we got to watch. And I just wanted to say it was so refreshing to not have VAR ruining that game. Could you imagine with the madness, okay, would it be more mad and we might have been sat here talking about different things in a different scoreline, a higher scoreline, I don't know. But I'm glad that we got to see it for what it was, which was just a bit of a bonkers boss game of footy.
Yeah, it was sound, honestly. You need to do something with that VAR, lads, because it's shite. Okay, we're doing every day we answer a question. If you want to ask us a question for tomorrow's video, leave it in the comments. But the question that we've chosen from yesterday's video is, in your opinion, will the City game be a league title decider, assuming an LFC win would take us 9 points clear?
I literally had this conversation with my dad about 2 days ago, and he laughed at me for what I said. Because I said, because we were arguing about the League Cup, and my dad's very old school, and he talks about the FA Cup with such a romantic view, and the League Cup, and he was saying about the side we were going to field, and I said, well, Dad, he's going to have to play the kids, because he's got a run there where he's got Villa, he's got Genk, and then I said, and then he's got a title decided, and he went, don't be silly at this stage of the season. For me, what I tried to explain, and I don't know if this will make sense, but hopefully it does, it's nothing to do with the stage of the season, and it's nothing to do with the points gap in terms of 9 points. It's about being on top of Man City, and you're literally there. If you can claim 3 points from them, you're literally taking 3 points from them. It's not about them losing, you're not relying on them doing anything else, because you're in control of that game. So for me, if you look back at the end of the season, and let's say Liverpool win the league by 3 points, that 3 points is the 3 points that you beat Man City by, and I don't know if that makes any sense, but you see what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's what I meant by title decider. You're playing our contenders.
Literally last season we lose the title by 1 point. And so, you know, therefore, had we beaten them, we would have won the league. So, you know, we've got to be treating it that way. I want Anfield to be an absolute cauldron for that game. I think, you know, we scare the life out of them like we have done before.
Yeah.
I'm not going to advocate some behaviour, you know what I mean, before you all get on me back, but fucking get into them. And if we do beat them, we'll be in the Reds for one, as well as being 9 points clear. And when we haven't dropped points for the time that we've dropped, you know, like the start of the season's been absolutely brilliant. We were brilliant last season. It's hard to see some big drop off a cliff. So of course that'll be in the Reds. So I understand why you said that. I understand why we got this question. It'd be absolutely massive.
And if you think about, if you compare the start of this season to last season, you look at Chelsea away, we've capitalised on that. You look at Leicester at home, we've capitalised on that. We got a draw last year at home.
Yeah.
If we can get 3 points, we've already bettered. Where we've got, you know, 3 draws last year, we've already bettered them this season, and that's just shows you the way that this team's going.
Absolutely. Listen, Kimbo coming up, so if you fancy...
it is Halloween first, like.
It's Halloween first, which is why we've got this fella with us doing Talking Reds.
It's for me now.
I mean, it's not. But yeah, if you're thinking about what to buy someone for Kimbo, how about a gift card, basically with a subscription for the Anfield app? Good one for your half fella, good one for your ma, whoever's into the Reds and hasn't had a go with the Anfield app and you think they'd like it, you can buy a gift card via the Anfield app shop, which is via theanfieldapp.com. Also, we're offering a chance to win a gin experience with the Anfield app. There is a link in the description, so take a look at that. That has been Talking Reds from the Anfield app. What a night. What a time to be a Red. Ooh, spooky, isn't that?